Ferry International has had its hand on the pulse of the global labor market because it's the largest executive search firm in the world with nearly 80 offices in 40 countries. The company is reporting fiscal second quarter results today. So to break those numbers and deliver the goods, so to speak, is the CEO himself, Gary Burnison, CEO of Korn Ferry International. Great to have you with us as our guest host for the entire hour. Thank you. Can you handle it on Hump Day? Indeed. Before we get to that, your numbers hot off the press. Looks like you beat in several areas. Congratulations, I suppose. I'm digging into these numbers as well.
I suppose. No, it was a good quarter.
Well, it's mixed here, you know, across the pond and not so much. But on this side of the world,
yeah, on this
why
side
was
of the
it
world,
such a good quarter?
Asia, it was a very good quarter, and in Europe's tough. I mean, you know, Europe's really the tale of two Europes for sure, and there's some challenges over there. There's no doubt about it, and so we've certainly had stronger headwinds in Europe. But overall, very good quarter. Revenue was up 33%. Year over year, sequentially it was up 6%. Profits are up. Operating margin was almost 12%. So I'm very proud of our organization.
So you beat on earnings.
We did. We beat on earnings. Profits are up substantially over the prior year. And for us, you know, looking back now 2 years ago when that Great Recession started, you know, we've done a V. Our organization has come through it. We've outperformed the market. We've accelerated through the turn. We did 3 acquisitions during the Great Recession. So, yeah, I'm proud of our company.
Well, you talk about a tale of two Europes, but you also talk about a two-speed recovery in the United States. What is that two-speed recovery in your eyes? Where are there more headwinds when you're looking specifically domestically?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, out of income and savings comes spending, and out of spending comes jobs. And, you know, right now in the United States, it is tough, and there is a two-tier labor market. There are those that have skills, and those that maybe do not have as many skills. And it's tough. I mean, there's so many jobs in the real estate sector, right? Just think about that, you know, 3 million jobs that really just went away during this great credit debacle, right? So those have to be replaced. Globally, when you look at it, you know, it's a different story. You know, those CEOs that are running global businesses are investing, they're hiring, they're expanding. But those that are more dependent on local and particularly Western economies are much more subdued right now.
And Steve wants
Gary, let me come in here. Very good to see you again. You and I have talked many times about the European jobs market. I was looking at your revenue breakdown. Europe is a real laggard compared with North America, Asia Pacific and South America. What needs to happen in Europe? Because my understanding is there is a jobs growth story happening. I look at the figures out of the UK today. They don't look too bad. Employment growth for permanent and temporary looks like it's on the up.
Yeah, no, it is. It clearly is. You know, our business in the UK is doing very well, and in Germany it's doing well. But, you know, broadly speaking, there's a great deal of concern around debt levels, and CEOs are more cautious. But again, Steve, those that are looking east are hiring, are expanding. And so despite the data in Germany this morning, we've had very good results over the last several months coming out of Germany.
Gary, here's perhaps a slightly more subtle question for you. Given you've got this geographic exposure, you've got European companies and North American, US companies. I've no doubt that they're in great shape compared to where they were a year or 2 years ago. But are they creating jobs? Those European and US big corporates, the multinational corporations, are they creating jobs in home markets, or are they creating jobs in LATAM and Asia?
Yeah, it's you know, it's abroad. It's in Latin America and it's in Asia, for sure. I mean, that's what, you know, there's a tidal shift here over the next 20 years in terms of consumerism. You know, 2/3 of the world's middle class is going to reside in Asia in 20 years. And, you know, CEOs today are planning for that and are trying to tap that consumerism. You know, for us, I mean, we're looking right now at increasing our operation, for example, in Poland. Part of that's to take advantage of a labor arbitrage. So this is, you know, it's a global world here.
Hey Gary, this is Christine here in Asia. I know that wages are rising substantially over in China and India. Is that somehow stopping CEOs of companies from expanding aggressively in these two big emerging markets?
No, it's not. I mean, certainly the level of turnover has increased, as you know, over the last several quarters. And with that, there has been wage pressure, for sure. And some of the outsourcers are even outsourcing. But that hasn't stopped CEOs from investing in hiring, because again, when you look out over the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, that consumerism, that scale is massive. And that's what people are trying to seize.
As wages increase over in China and India and the rest of Asia, is productivity rising as a result to match?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it certainly is. And, you know, it's productivity not just in China, but I'll tell you, it's everywhere. Take our business, for example, in the United States. Just look back over the last 25 years. Our U.S. business has had six-fold growth, but we have fewer employees than we did in 1985, which is astonishing. For a people business, and you take that to different sectors, different industries, the same phenomenon holds true.
Gary, we're going to leave it there for the moment. You're staying with us, of course, for the rest of the hour, so look forward to speaking to you more about this and beyond. Gary Burnison, the CEO of Korn Ferry International. Right, the Irish Prime Minister, Brian Cowan, says low taxes are the only way to get Ireland's finances back on a sure footing. Now, writing in the Wall Street Journal, Cowan defended his government's latest austerity measures, and he outlined why the country would refuse to raise its corporate tax rate above an incredibly low 12.5%. He believes this is an indispensable tool for growth, job creation and economic recovery. Nicole.
It sounded good.
And Texas Instruments has narrowed its fourth quarter outlook with the midpoint of earnings and revenue forecasts in line with analyst estimates. TI now expects a chip correction to be short and shallow. Demand for TVs, notebooks and hard drives is still weak, but notebook revenue is stabilizing. The company also says that chips for video game consoles and smartphones remains quite strong. TI shares are trading, let's take a peek, see, up slightly but basically flat. Christine.
And Nicole, a Chinese central bank advisor said he believes the U.S. dollar will be safe for the next 6 to 12 months because global markets are preoccupied with the Eurozone debt troubles. But Li Daokui said the United States fiscal health is in fact worse positioned than Europe's. He said he expects bond prices there and the greenback to fall when the European economy gets back on its feet.
And still much more to come on the program. German trade data provided a rather nasty surprise this morning. We find out how that's been hitting equity markets in just a second. And we take a closer look at a hotter than hot area that is e-coupons. Find out why names like Google and Amazon are falling all over themselves to invest. Plus, we also would love to hear from you. Any questions for our guest host or for the next hour, Gary Burnison, CEO of Korn Ferry International. Email us worldwide@cnbc.com.
Dog spot.
Welcome back to Worldwide Exchange. It is 5:23 on the east coast of the United States. A pretty picture to wake you up of Rockefeller Center and the Christmas tree. Just finished lighting that small fern. No, it's huge. I didn't light it personally, but it was lit last week. Let's take a peek at U.S. equity markets, though. No fire under equity markets belly necessarily today. Futures are slightly off this morning. We've narrowed a little bit, Steve. Dow futures are off about 10 below fair value.
I've got to let you into a little secret there, Nicole. I thought that was a tree in the CNBC Europe lobby, actually, because we have a mighty fern there, actually. I think any of our European guests will know what I'm talking about. A huge mammoth.
And all of my presents that you have already got for me.
Ross and I have been working very hard on presents. Talking of presents, you'll probably be interested in our next guest. Online deal sites seem to be pretty hot right now. Sites like Groupon and Living Social offer subscribers big discounts at local retailers, usually one deal each day. Groupon recently walked away from a $6 billion buyout from Google. Living Social has just accepted a $175 million investment from Amazon. Eric Eichmann is the COO of Living Social and joins us now. Eric, great to see you. Just tell us a little bit about where you are and what you're offering.
Okay, so we're in 5 countries, US, Australia, UK, Ireland and Canada. We're in 125 markets and we offer a hand-picked experience every day to consumers around the world.
Consumers around the world, but no coincidence that the countries you mentioned there, UK, US, Canada, Australia and New Zealand?
Not yet, but soon, I hope.
We're talking pretty much about Anglo-Saxon economies here. We're talking about highly consumeristic nations. Is it just because we spend a lot in these countries?
Well,
why those countries?
The model is proven to work and has taken off in many other countries beyond the Anglo-Saxon countries. From our perspective, that was our strategy. Let's go after the Anglo-Saxon countries first, and that's why we're in those countries. But we're preparing to go into the other countries.
Hey, Eric, this is Christine. I understand you accepted this $175 million investment from Amazon. What are the implications here on your part?
So we're obviously very excited about the investment that Amazon has made on us. It does two things for us. The first is it validates the strong position we're in the space and the prospects as a company that we have. And two, really, it provides us funds to continue to fund the aggressive expansion that we have.
Eric, it's Nicole in the United States, along with Gary Burnison, CEO of Korn, Ferry International. We are looking at some notes from you. Yeah, and we're trying to figure out, you guys are selling some interesting things on the site, teeth whitening, and we're trying to figure out as well, what's a Zola fish pedicure? What is that? Zula?
Yeah, so I haven't had a fish pedicure myself, but it's actually a pedicure where little fishes end up doing good things to your feet. So we've done these very successfully in London, for example.
You sell that successfully? People buy that?
Oh, they love it apparently, and I'm hoping one day I will try it myself. So great experience.
Eric, it's Gary. How does the business model work? I mean, is this kind of virtual marketing? I mean, how do you guys make money?
Yeah, so the great thing about this model, it's really a win-win. From a consumer perspective, you get great deals, and everybody loves the deal. And from a merchant perspective, from a business perspective, it's a great advertising medium. It's a new medium that delivers paying customers to your door. So effectively, what happens is people buy the vouchers on Leading Social, and then they go and redeem those vouchers at the store, and the merchants get a check from us. That's the amount that consumers have paid minus a margin that we take.
Tell us about the growth rates and tell us about the number of people you're getting to subscribe for this and the growth rates there.
So we're at over 10 million subscribers worldwide, and we've grown very rapidly. Just as an example, we were about 30 people at the beginning of the year, and we're over 550 people now. And we started being in 10 markets at the beginning of the year. We're in 130. So that gives you a sense for how rapid the growth is.
Well, Eric, we wish you a lot of luck. I'm sure this is a very busy time of year for you as well. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Eric Eichmann, COO of Living Social. Christine, I'm not sure what to get you just yet, but I'm definitely working with Ross now on the fish pedicure for Nicole. I think that's just a given that she's going to be getting one of those. But we're working more on kind of cod or something rather than piranha foot pedicures.
You know what, Steve? We already have fish pedicure here in Singapore, so you might have to rethink your gift idea. Something a bit more novelty, maybe. Coming up next.
Listen, if you buy one for me, you have to buy it for yourself as well, and for Ross, it can be a group outing, fish pedicuring. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, getting back to more serious stuff, markets were very close to flat in the U.S. yesterday. What happens if they behave that way today and all through 2011? Look at how you might still be able to profit. Steve.
Yeah, plus we'll give you more on the PBOC's lack of faith in the long-term prospects for the US dollar and what that implies about China's view on Europe. All that and plenty more after this short break.
CNBC, first in business worldwide.